And here we go. This is law number 25. So we have officially crested the halfway point. Law number 25 is recreate yourself. It's very interesting how that's a law of power, the ability to recreate yourself. I saw a video by, there's the guy that does the host of the Family Feud. He used to do that other one it was a Hollywood one. He's black. Steve Harvey. He said that. He said, don't be afraid to recreate yourself as many times as you need to. When it comes to recreating yourself, I had a thought of what are you attracting with what you're doing? Because I'll tell you this from vast experience. You attract what you are. So if you're posting ungodly, unholy photos of yourself online, and you're noticing a recurring theme that you're attracting that kind of vermin, I would ask myself, what am I attracting? What am I doing? Who am I embodying? What character am I playing, right? Are you playing the character of the thirsty hoe? You know, trying to lure all these sailors, you know, to get shipwrecked? Are you a siren? You could be. But I was thinking about it and I was like, I love the recreation that I've made for this sort of professor, you know, persona. Because I don't know, I follow in the path of Greg Plitt, and at a certain point you have to stop being the student and be a teacher. Do you know what I'm saying? At a certain point, I was just looking around and all I saw was the complete omission of any masculine leadership. And I said, dude, someone's gotta fucking do it. Someone has to lead the charge. Somebody has to set the precedent for other people of a foundation of character, of integrity, of work ethic, of discipline, of patience, of heart, of showing up correct, of any sort of the most mild form of integrity within your word meaning anything. And the world today is just so lost of decisive men, of non-feminine men, of feminine women. It's just, the whole game is upside down and everyone is lost. Why? Because everyone, man and woman, are looking for fucking leadership. They're looking for role models to embody. In the omission of that, you get the satanic Hollywood celebrity idols. And so what the result is, you see it within the kids, you see it within the teenagers. They literally memorize and regurgitate the garbage that they're listening to. And so they talk like idiots, they speak with the most amount of profanity, they dress retardedly, they get the haircuts, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I saw videos by that pedophile guy who was a rapper, and he said that he's a weasel rat, and you could tell in the video, like, he's like this, he's like, we want to own your souls. But he said something that was very true in the realm of hip hop and how it affects the conditioning of the youth, the manipulation and the programming of the youth. And he said, we decide what's hot, we decide what's cool. Like, we literally decide how your kids dress, what they listen to, how they speak, if they afford their parents with any sort of respect or, you know, decency, whether they have any self-respect of themselves when they walk outside. I watched a video today, and it was a little skit this couple did on Instagram of like Valentine's Day. It was expectation versus reality. And the expectation was a lot of romance stuff, and then the reality was, hey, so do you want to, and then F-U-C-K, before we eat or afterwards? And I just said, can you imagine 60 years ago if you used that kind of language in regards to talking about your partner publicly? And then you feel so comfortable, you feel no shame for posting that kind of smut and garbage. And we are so desensitized to it in today's world that it has become a new normal of complete garbage, just a cesspit of degeneracy and stupidity, and just very, very low, no shame individuals, you know, broadcasting their garbage for the world to see. Like, it's insanity. So when it comes to recreating yourself, and I thought about what kind of man do I want to be, right? What kind of respect do I want to elicit from my woman? How do I want my kids to look at me? How do I want to look back at this garden that I'm building X amount of years from now? You know what I mean? Do I want to look at it with pride, with admiration, or with shame? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem with the world that we live in today, is there is no sense of shame within people's actions. They don't feel any disgrace for how they show up, for how they speak to their parents, for how fucking lazy and entitled they are. I'll give you a good example. I was at the gym the other day, I was doing trap bar deadlifts, and this fucking kid was next to me, and you could tell based on his haircut and the piercings in his ear and the weight that he was using and how fat he was, but fat as in like skinny fat. You could tell it was his first month of training. But the way he walked with a level of fucking arrogance and entitlement and having no sense of get the fuck out of my sort of space, or, you know, if I'm trying to unrack a weight, move kind of a deal. And the way that this dickhead would walk around, you're just like, it was so evident. And when I thought about this when I walked out of the gym that day, I said, that person is the complete embodiment of someone who's never been told no. Someone who has no idea what work ethic is, no idea what perseverance is, no idea what heart or passion or will is. Because this kind of runt has been fucking handed everything his entire life. And it is so evident in his lack of humility and his lack of discipline and work ethic and just consideration and basic fucking courtesy. And I could glean all of that just by his demeanor, just by his lack of consideration for his surrounding fucking peers, who not even the physical dwarfing of this person, but just out of courtesy and respect for the other people in your sort of area. And I think about Greg Plitt, who sort of laid the foundation for me in my physical transformation, my journey within the gym, and the sanctuary that the gym should be has been completely lost. And so it's the rarest thing when you see people of my breed who go to the gym to fucking work, who go there with their head down to perform, to get better, to leave the gym better than they did than the person who walked in. But if you were to take away social media, dude, 90% of these people wouldn't exist. And so I ask you, when it comes to recreating yourself, what character are you choosing to play? And who are you playing it for? Because the biggest thing about this, I want to say a really good quote. I said, be careful when deciding to play a character that isn't you. Because when you look at social media and you see people who are doing all of the, you know, everything that's fake, all the reactions, all of the skits, all of the, let me, you know, get your attention, let me make a stupid joke, let me degrade myself and make myself into a clown just for, you know, an extra second of your attention span before you scroll away. And I ask myself, and I say, is this the kind of audience that you want? Someone who just perpetually perceives you as a fucking clown. And in order to gain attention or likes or business or customers, this is the person that you have to embody. These are the people that you're going to forever resonate with versus the people who will never take you seriously. You know what I'm saying? Will never actually listen, ponder, consider, reflect to the words that you have to say. And don't get me wrong, what I'm doing, the boring route, right? Not the attention grabbing. What I love about what I'm doing with YouTube, there is no clickbait ever, and there's never going to be. There's no clickbait, there's no fucking me making myself into a clown. It's just I get the joy of being myself and then creating a garden that just invites people who want to fuck with me. Otherwise, they will not resonate whatsoever, and then they won't find themselves here, and that's no problem. Because imagine you're able to create your life where the only people who are attracted to it are attracted to you as yourself. What a concept. And so you get to live the joy that is being you, not a character that you're fucking pretending to be, you know? And so you go down that sort of disrespect your soul route, where your soul will literally be on fire for a character that you keep insisting on playing. And I'm at that stage where it's just, I don't know, the older that I get, the less I have any sort of, it's just exhausting playing somebody who's not me. And so the less interest I have to play that fake persona character just to make someone fucking laugh or just to get attention or, you know, validation from other people. I'm far removed from that right now. So the people who I'm attracting, I literally just want to attract people who are awake, people who think for themselves, people who are present. It's an insane concept, I understand. We're really far-fetched here, but I like the idea that in this world of garbage, people are going to be craving truth and authenticity and wisdom and healing and humility and integrity and character and patience and discipline and work ethic and perseverance and heart. And I think all of the garbage that you're seeing, while it's, you know, a perpetual dopamine flood, I think it's gonna die out, and people are just gonna be so over it. And you can tell when you go on social media and you see a video that's not production, and it's just a person being a person with all their flaws and quirks, but they're them. How much happier does that make you? And why? Because we love seeing people have the courage to be themselves. Okay, so the note that I had is, what are you attracting? What are you attracting by the character that you're choosing to play? You know, and a lot of people, I always say this to the women who feel the need to dress provocatively online. I say this to myself. I say, you don't need to do that, sweetheart. You don't need to post a video of yourself nearly naked to get fucking attention or command the respect of other people. Well, number one, by you doing that, you forfeit any respect from other people, or put yourself into a category of being taken seriously, or as someone that any true man with any dignity wants as their counterpart, because any woman that a guy chooses is a reflection of their standard. So a woman who feels very comfortable wearing nothing online, it has nothing to do with your body, your choice, or any of that bullshit. It's, why do you feel the need to degrade yourself for the validation of fucking strangers? It's insane. So ask yourself that. What character are you playing? Why are you playing that character? And this is another huge gift I was given in my quest for truth. It said your success is completely tied into your ability to be seen as you. I'll say it again. Everything that you want is on the other side of you having the courage to be yourself. But if you don't let yourself be seen for who you are, you'll never find the people who want to give you the opportunities as you, for you. I may have butchered it the second time that I said that, but I think you understand the point. That there are people right now in the world who would love to spend time with you, to date you, to hang out with you, to give money to you, to give opportunities to you, to sign you as a client, to hire you as a coach, but they have no idea who you are because you're playing a character that's not you. So you have to get over losing the people who are all the fake people in your life. And all the fake people are the ones who like you for the person that you're pretending to be. And it'll be a lonely cleanse when you finally have the courage to post things with no filter. But then the people who stick around, then you know, oh, they really fuck with me. They're really on my team. No matter what I post, no matter how radical, left, right, doesn't matter. I can say my mind, I can speak my heart, and then these people will stick around. Those are the people that you want to water, right? Everybody else are dead plants. But you won't know who are the dead plants, who are the poisons in your garden that you need to prune until you have the courage to be yourself, right? Because then you have all of these little sneaky snakes, which is what they are. Because the people who would leave the second you decided to be yourself, they were never your friends to begin with, right? Those are the things that I wanted you to consider for the start of this lecture. It's very short. So in the idea of recreating yourself, I pose you the question, to what end, right? Recreate yourself as yourself, in my opinion, right? But the beauty about this when it comes to recreating yourself is you can decide the person you want to be. Like, your character can be your villain. And I deleted this video that I made because I had it originally as the title for semester 2, Become Your Villain. But I liked it starts with belief and then potential, because I'm going to do the success cycle as this to break down the semesters. But your villain is you at your full potential. So when you think of a villain, I got this idea from Andrew Tate. Anytime you play a sport, right, you get better only by playing against people who are better than you, right? Iron sharpens iron that way. So if I'm playing tennis and I'm playing against a guy who's better than me, he's forcing me to run faster, to react quicker, to hit harder, okay? When you leave competition in sport, who do you have combating you to make you better, to make you level up? Who's forcing you to get up earlier, right? Who's forcing you to dress sharper to show up correct? Who's forcing you to use less profanity in your speech? Who's forcing you to be a better speaker, a better orator, rhetoric, writer, right? His idea was this. He said, when I don't have somebody to compete against myself, then I'm going to create somebody to compete against myself. So he had this idea of his villain. And he said, your villain is the guy who wakes up early every single day, who never skips a gym session, who never hits snooze on his alarm clock, who always, for me, for example, I end my showers on the coldest setting every shower I take ever. And that's what my villain would do. The peak potential Tarkaux, right? My villain, so the identity of the person that I have the max potential to become, I'm always the guy who pays credit where it's due. If I see something that I like within someone, I have the courage to go up to them and tell them. If I like a woman, I'm the guy who goes up and tells them that I'm interested in them, that I'm attracted to them, that I like them, period. That's your villain, the guy who's never shy, never timid, never pussies out, always shows up, always does his best, always closes the sale. And the beauty about this whole experiment is that can be you if you choose for it to be. So at any time, you can choose to close the gap of who you are and the potential of who you can be. There's a good video by, I think it's Earl Nightingale, and he says, we become what we mostly think about. So if you're working every day pretending, acting as if the person who you want to be, the person you want to become, you will eventually, he says, imperceptibly, you'll become him. As in, if I ask myself, how would a millionaire act? How would he dress? Who would he talk to? How would he reply? What posture would he have? Would he be in a rush? Would he panic under pressure? So then you start, imploring all of these little actions within your character, these little bit of changes to your identity. And then slowly but surely, you'll transform yourself. You'll achieve this law of recreating yourself entirely. As in a year from now, of you keeping all these promises that you make to yourself, your confidence exalted, the result of somebody who goes to the gym 5 days a week for an entire year, I almost got a paper cut there, who's perfected their diet, who's consistent with their supplements, who's doing also cardio, who's cut all the negative people out of their life. Like, if you do that enough times, just these little victories, right? These little changes, these little replacements of bad vices, bad indulgences with good habits, you will be a completely different person. You will be unrecognizable. The only person, the version people will know of you is the version that no longer exists. And the beauty about that is you can choose for those people from your past to no longer have access to you. And I find that it won't even be a choice or a decision that you'll necessarily need to make, but people will no longer resonate with you anymore. Like, I know this from as I went from high school to college to after, and the people who I knew from high school, they'd be making the same stupid jokes, the same stupid things that we would talk about when we were high schoolers. 6 years, 7 years, 8 years later, what that reflects is someone who hasn't grown at all, right? And so if they still have the maturity of the fucking 16-year-old 10 years later, that's terrifying. That's almost a decade of you choosing not to grow, right? Not to go down the route of discomfort, not to recreate yourself or to improve yourself in the slightest. So all of these things I want you to consider in terms of going about recreating yourself, closing the gap of the potential that you have, the person that you have the potential to become, right? All from raising your standard. That's what it is, essentially. And I love that idea of the villain to conceptualize what my anchor is. As in, when I want to snooze, well, that Tarek, he didn't snooze the alarm. Oh, I want to skip the gym, I'm not really feeling it today. He went, and he set a PR. Like, it's a really good competitive benchmark to sharpen yourself when you don't have that other person in your life. Okay. When deciding to play a character that isn't you, just because that's how you enter the realm of depression. And Jim Carrey was a perfect alchemist when it came to this. He said, my gift is I'm so broken, I'm able to transmute, to alchemize all of that pain and then put it into this bouquet of flowers, right? And then that makes people's lives better. That fills them with happiness and joy and, the like. From the character that he chose to play for all those years, the comedian, the jester, the joker. And in reality, that was his peak depression. His soul being on fire from the character that he was pretending to be, because that wasn't Jim Carrey. That was the comedian, joker Jim Carrey, but not actually him, right? So he said who he is someone who's very, very broken from all of the pain that he's endured his life over the span of his lifetime. And that was something I could really resonate with. There's a quote from the book, "You're the artist. You're the artist." And then I put, in your painting, you get to decide if you're the main feature, and then you could say painting or the show. If you think of your life as a movie, you could be the fucking star of it. You don't have to be a prop. I said you could be the star of the show or a prop. And it's fascinating when it comes to recreating yourself, that whole concept. This is your one run at life, in this life, right? Your one run. And people choose not to be the main character, not to be the secondary actor. They choose to literally be the chair in the corner of the shot. And I always ask myself, why? why do you choose not to be the main character of your life? That's wild. That's crazy to me. And when you could choose to be the guy, the girl, and you're choosing to be not on the clearance rack like we talked about in terms of learning your value, the rack itself, like literally just over there in the corner collecting cobwebs, doing nothing, right? When you could transform yourself to be the head actor and the director and the playwright. You literally get to write your story however you want it. You know what I'm saying? And you could decide tomorrow to be that star, right? So I encourage you in the pursuit of finding yourself again, which ultimately is recreating yourself, and it's a purification where you're removing all of the layers that aren't you. And then when you get to that core of yourself, you will shine so brightly that you will inevitably be, the star of the show. People will be so attracted to you because there's nothing more attractive than authenticity in the literal sense, not just, well, they're good looking. No, attractive in the sense it's the highest energy level, the highest vibration, the highest frequency. You will literally attract people, opportunities, financial prosperity, abundance, everything by you aligning with your authentic self, right? You purifying yourself, pruning all the garbage, all the layers, removing them that aren't you, okay? Take control of your appearance. Don't wear fucking pajamas when you go to the airport, you bastard, right? Level up, take pride in your appearance. I shaved before this, so I might look 12, but we did something. Okay, what is your identity right now? And that's another thing when it comes to recreating yourself. And this is something I've done time and time again. The identity of Tarek in 2022, I would say I am T-I-R-E-D. Then, by the grace of a coworker, my brother, they say, you always say that. You always say you're T-I-R-E-D. And lo and behold, you're always that. And I was like, huh. So identity is tied with the statement I am. So I'm very careful when I say something. I'm just checking to see if I have a paper cut. When I say I am blank, because then I'll confirm it, these conditions, that my character, Tarek Haux, is a guy who's always T-I-R-E-D, right? Who's always, insert negative self-deprecating word here, who's always late, who's always forgetful. I see it all the time. And this is what really changed my mindset. You have the opportunity to program your mind in any way that you want. You don't have to say stupid shit like, man, I'm really bad at remembering names. Man, I'm always T-I-R-E-D, right? I'm always broke. I'm always, insert negative fucking thing here that you're turning into a self-fulfilling prophecy. You can choose every single day to say, I'm always full of energy. I always have more than enough money. I always, you start to bridge that gap. Because even if you don't believe it initially, your mind will begin to work towards realizing that truth, to aligning with this new identity. Because that's what we do better than any other species animals in the fucking world, right? Is we are very, very, very good at becoming the person that we say that we are. If I say I'm, a weight, or let's use the, people who feel the need to tell you their identity when you don't even ask. I say I'm Tarek the vegan. Oh no. Or I'm Tarek the CrossFitter. Those are the two that you don't have to fucking ask them. That'll be, hey, I'm Megan the vegan CrossFitter. Oh no, I gotta go wash my hands. But you'll do everything and anything to confirm your fucking identity. And so why, ask yourself why do people put negative identities on them? Why sabotage yourself that way? Why shoot yourself in the foot? Why, instead of saying I'm T-I-R-E-D, why don't you say I'm always full of energy? I'm always full of vitality, enthusiasm, excitement for the day, right? I'm always drowning in debt, broke, rat life, peasant, this. I always have enough money. I'm always taken care of. I'm always provided for. What a different mentality. And so what do you think is going to happen? If you say those things enough times and you believe it, do you think you're going to stay in that state of lack? Do you think you're going to have new insights, new ideas, new opportunities arise within your life? You'll become a co-creator of your life, right? Not somebody who's just a feather in the wind, who's at the whim of life circumstances and conditions. And if you view your life as a reflection of your ideologies and your belief systems, which that's all it is, everything that you see, the people that you interact with, it is a reflection of your internal world. So if you're going about your day and everything is rainbows and lilies and this, that's how you're feeling inside. When you love yourself, when you're in a harmonious state of presence, you view everything else with such a grace, with such a compassion, with such an ease, right? When you have that inner harmony, it's no problem being stuck at a red light. It's no problem when there's a tweaker on the corner screaming and hollering. You're so relaxed. But if you're in this irate inner state, of course I hit traffic. It is a reflection of your inner world. Okay? So again, choose your character. That's from like a Mortal Kombat. Okay, so I think I made that clear, right? You can choose to say I'm Tired, or I'm broke, or I'm poor, or I'm stupid. Don't say any of that garbage. In this university, in a prior book, lecture, I had it as a homework assignment for you to forbid that from your vocabulary because it is doing you no favors, right? So when it comes to recreating yourself, ask yourself, what are the fucking put downs and self-sabotage that you're insinuating on yourself within your life from the character you're choosing to play, right? Oh, I always have a forgetful memory. No, I always remember names. Even if that's not true initially, it doesn't fucking matter. We're conditioning a new identity. I'm always so good at remembering. I never forget. Of course I'm gonna remember. And then it's very important to reward yourself when you're right. And then it'll be such good conditioning for reaffirming that new identity and that new belief system. So I'll give you a good example. I'm somebody who is not the best when it comes to remembering something. I might forget something, right? And I'm choosing my words very carefully because I've done so much work to create this new identity. Then I'll do little challenges with myself to where, like, I'll give you a good example, a very basic example, right? I'm gonna go do my laundry and then I wear the coat because it's cold outside, but I want to remember to take it off to wash it. So I want to remember to take off that coat once I get in the laundry room. There's been times where I've gone and then I've walked back after I put all my clothes in the laundry and I forgot to put it in. And then this last time I went over there and I said, I'm gonna remember to put it in. And then I went and then I fucking took it off. I remembered and I put it in. And then this is what I told myself. This is exactly what my inner dialogue was. I said, of course you remember. You always remember. You have such a great memory. I say that and I condition that identity and belief system. And what am I doing? I'm setting up my character. I'm recreating myself to stack the deck in my favor, right? If you can program your mind, if you can curate your reality, why would you not do it to your benefit? Food for thought. Next. Last quote. Learn to play many roles to be whatever the moment requires. And this is the key part. This is why I put a big X on this. Adapt your mask to the situation. And I say no. Again, these laws are for food for thought, food for consideration, for us to discuss, for us to challenge, for us to decide whether we want to implement it, to adopt it as our own philosophy or not. When it comes to you wearing a mask, playing the rat life courtier, pretending to be a character that's not you, I ask myself, to what end, right? How long do I want to play a character that's not me? How long do I want to, walk the tightrope of depression, of self-hatred, of self-disrespect, of soul degradation, right? How long do I want to keep up that front for before I say, fuck it, I'm done, right? So I would encourage you when it comes to recreating yourself, ask yourself a simple question. Who do you want to be? And I wrote this in my lovely literature book. I said, that is a scary question that most people don't ask themselves, is who do you want to be and what do you want? Not what your wife wants, not what your kids want, not what your boyfriend, girlfriend wants. I don't give a fuck about any of them. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? The reason that's such a scary question is because what if the answer is, I want to be single and you're married. I want to move here and you have this job that you're afraid to leave. I want to work as this, but say it's an entrepreneur job. But I'm gonna lose my livelihood. It's not gonna monetize overnight. I'm gonna lose all my status from this made up title that I have in this building. People are terrified of the truth of what they want for the sake of the fear of insert fear. humiliation, criticism from the peers, failure, appearing less than. And I ask you, in your one life that you have, why not? Why not go for it? Why not be the person that you want to be? Why not live the life you want to live? Why not do the things that you want to do in the one life that you have? What do you actually have to lose by going for it? Nothing, right? And I know so many guys who are just afraid to go for it. They lack the courage to pursue. And those are the same people 5-10 years from now who are going to be leading quiet lives of desperation because they had the opportunity to go for it and they choose to watch that opportunity close. And so they're going to rationalize and justify how those weren't really their dreams, how they really didn't want to go there. I really don't want to go travel the world. I really don't want financial freedom and prosperity for me and my family. I just want to settle in my life of mediocrity forever and then just check the box, be a good, docile, obedient, tax-paying citizen slave until I die. And I say to those people who want to do the 40 years, the 60 years within the rat life as a cog in the wheel, a rat in the maze, I say help yourself, man. Help yourself. Because in my one life, the one thing that I can say with exacting clarity and certainty is I will not be living it and ending it and looking back on it with a fucking shred of regret, with an ounce of that burden, right? Of what if. Not a fucking ounce, dude. That is agonizing. That pain is agonizing. I've had clients literally tell me that, Tarek, I don't remember the failures. I don't remember when I tried something and it didn't work. I don't remember the rejection. All I remember are the opportunities that I had that I didn't go for. All I remember is the business that I did not start. All I remember is the woman that I did not go up to. And so I married this one while their wife is in the other room. And that shit will eat at you for a lifetime. And when the rejection or the failure or the disappointment, dude, you'll forget about it fucking next day, next prospect, next woman. You won't remember the failure. You won't remember the rejection, the humiliation, or the embarrassment. But you will remember the person who you didn't go up to. You will remember the business or idea that you did not start, that you did not develop. You will remember the time that you had to fucking go for it and you chose the coward's route, right? You chose to not take that leap of faith. So I would encourage you when it comes to employing this law of recreating yourself, just ask yourself that one question. Who do I want to be? What do I want? What the fuck do I have to lose by going for it? And this is the kicker. If I pull this off, who benefits from it? If I pull this off with rat life, how many people's lives are made better? How many people do we have the potential to reach, to impact, to improve, to help, to heal, to save, to free? So that's law number 25. Recreate yourself. I'll see you guys tomorrow.